Good day, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening. I'd like to share with you my video introduction, starting out with part one. So, I'm Daniel Prairie from Malone, New York. I've recently retired from Bell Textron as a customer service engineer for 37 years, and I'm now pursuing the completion of my BS in Aviation Business Administration, plus launching my own consulting business. I've been privileged to have lived and worked in diverse locations such as Thailand, Iran, Mexico, and most significantly, 35 plus years in Brazil and roaming South America. I have firsthand experience embracing different cultures, but I do remind you every single day is a new experience when you're in a country that you are not native to. And I'm sure many of you have shared this same experience. My definition of culture is the collective and evolving societal and environmental influences such as language, race, religion, politics, borders, geography, architecture, and climate that over the expanse of time shapes the identity, the values, and the behavior of a group of people. So moving on to part two. My hometown, Malone, is nestled between the Adirondack Mountains and the St. Lawrence River Valley, just a short 10 miles south of the Canadian border. Malone was settled in the early 1800s and has a very rich cultural history from the influences of many elements. The early migrant Anglo American Protestants and French Canadian and Irish Catholics established the religious heritage of the region, and a few different cultural texts of regional identity from my childhood are the Quebecois phrase which is still heard in conversation, or poutine, French fry smothered with gravy and cheese curds. Also, as a youngster, I spent many springs sugaring, and a process inherited from the original native Indians of making pure maple syrup, and there are no substitutes. Being heavily forested and extremely fertile, the region's first industries were potash production for export to Europe, sawmills providing building materials for homes, barns, and buildings, tanneries, and leather goods. And of course, farming was a very substantial input. With the introduction of the railroad in the 1850s, Malone was not only an exporter of goods, but also an importer of additional external influences. Malone even played a role in the Underground Railroad as a waypoint for slaves fleeing to Canada. Surviving in the region throughout the 18 and 1900s required pretty robust and hardy souls, and hard labor instilled a very solid work ethos, which is still very prominent in the area today. But to explain my cultural text to an outsider and bridge the divide, I would look for cultural comparisons. Work ethos is a good place to start and common in most cultures. A Malonian cultural text, which I witnessed still being practiced in a recent visit to the region, is their own Bessa, or Code of Honor, which is a good old handshake agreement. No lawyers required. Surprisingly enough, during my research of my chosen country, Albania, one of their significant cultural texts is also their code of honor called Besa. I would then use food and music as additional bridges, being non political and easy to communicate about. These three elements should create a good trampoline to find common ground and continue dialogue, exploring and comparing the importance of each other's cultural texts. So, thank you very much for your time.